Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on our next guest, who I consider both a dear friend, and she, to me, I would say, is the epitome of GSD, get shit done. She is she is phenomenal, and she's just phenomenal. And look at that smile. Look at the backdrop. I'm not like that's just amazing. Let me find her true intro before I tell you my part of the story with her, so I can at least do the right thing here. Um, Pam Heath is a certified life coach and business strategist. I haven't even read this yet. I had no idea. She's has a popular podcast, has led extraordinary workshops for over 27 years. If you're looking to transform your life or expand your capability and capacity for new possibilities, she is your go-to guru for power, passion, and fun. I love those words. But I'm going to tell you the other story about Pam Heath, because you need to know this about this crazy woman. And I say crazy in the best sort of way. So Pam is a member of my Safari group, which is our high-end program of people that produce ridiculously irresistible digital events. And when she joined, she said, Ken, how long should I plan to get my first event done? And I said, 6 to 8 weeks would be about right. Get it all set up, get it organized, and don't do anything stupid like what we did for World Love Week. 10 days ain't the way to do a really proper event. And Pam said, okay, great, thank you very much. And basically, using adult language, he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm doing it now. So 2.5 weeks later, she ran her first event. Was it perfect? No, but it really was. Because guess what? In the space of that 2.5 weeks, she assembled a small group, 8 people showed up, and she made over $18,000 in that 1 day program. So I got to tell you something. This is a woman that loves to get stuff done. She does not take no for an answer. That's why she's the Yes coach. And I could not be more excited to bring her with you today. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Pam Heath. Yay!
No autographs, no autographs.
You are my poster child for getting shit done, my lady.
Well, I call myself the Yes coach, and there's a reason I call myself the Yes coach, because I say yes.
I love it.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the energy of yes, because that's what people ask me about. They say, what is this yes thing? And I want to tell you, I live in the world of yes. And it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary hanging out in yes. And I invite people to come play with me in the world of yes. And that's why I call myself the yes coach. And that's why I call my process the science of yes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so you can get my credentials, and then maybe you'll listen thoroughly. Maybe you'll just, tune out because I'm too woo-woo. But I'm a single parent, and I live in Southern California, and I have one adult son, and he's an aspiring music producer. And what I do for a living, I'm a yes coach, and that's pretty much what I do. And right now, there are people who are listening who are asking themselves, and the big question they're asking themselves is, what is this yes coaching? So I'm going to get to that. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. That's what this talk is all about. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because I have an interesting background. I did go to college and I studied broadcast journalism because my intention was to be a newscaster. And I found that reporting the news was boring. So much of reporting the news reminded me of that Don Henley song, if you're familiar with it. It's called Dirty Laundry. Google the lyrics. It's completely like that. Kick them when you're up, kick them when you're down, kick them when you're up, kick them all around. And that's the world of broadcast news. And that just wasn't for me. So I spent the next 27 years as a legal administrator, and then an operations manager, and ultimately a human resource expert. And that's like a big freaking deal, because that it was so corporate and so structured. And that is not who I am. I'm actually not corporate and structured at all. But I was able to pull that off because the way that I operate, I say yes. So if you need me to be corporate and structured, yes. If you need me to be on point and interacting with people powerfully, yes. So based on that principle, that I say yes to whatever is available, whenever is possible, I say you can have anything you want. You can manifest anything you want just by saying yes. So by being a yes, you expand your capacity. You expand your capacity to anything you're willing to say yes to. And it's not just semantics. It's not just the word yes. You don't have to learn how to say yes in 18 different languages. It's a mindset. It's all about a mindset and how you live your life and who you be as you're living your life. And I know that's also resonating with some question. What you mean, Pam, by who you be? Okay, so who you be in life is how you operate. It's who you are, and what you do is sourced by who you are. And if who you are is yes, that's why I say you can have a life of power, passion, and fun. Because when you say yes, that's all there is to it. And it's not complicated. And we human beings, we tend to complicate things. I don't know why that is. We're just built that way. But life is amazingly simple. It really is. So the science of yes is a simple way to go about enhancing your life to give power to what you're already up to. Now, when I talk about the power of yes, there's a couple of things that I'm taking for granted. And I'm going to say that right now up front, in case there's people there that this isn't true for, then I'm talking to you, but I'm wasting my time. And what I'm relying on is a couple of things. Number one, you want the life of your dreams, and you want that yes, I can attitude, and you want more smiles, more joy, more happiness. You want those things. So that's why I'm speaking to you right now, because you want a life given by the science of yes. That's you, right? I'm talking to the right person? Okay, well, let's find out. So, why do I call my process the science of yes? How come exactly? Well, in order to answer that question, we're going to have to look at the definition of the word science. So I'm about to read to you straight out of the dictionary the definition of the word science. Now, check this out. The intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Now I'm gonna read that again because that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. Now, I'm not gonna expect you to memorize this. I'm gonna read it one more time, okay? The intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Bam, the science of yes. So what you want to get clear about around yes is that you know what you want in life, and you know through observation and experiment the actions you have to take to have those things. So doing what you always wanted to do in life, you have to take charge, say you want it, and then go after it. And that's why yes is a science, because through observation and experiment, you are busily, actively, aggressively going for what you want, going for what you want because you say you want it and you're committed to having it. And so you take it on inside the science of yes. Hey, didn't know that, didn't you? So already you've learned some things. So when you take on yes, you are actually going with the flow of the universe, because I say the universe resonates at yes. I say the universe is always a yes to you, and that you have to be open to hear yes when you ask for something. Now we're going to take a second, because I like to use movie and music analogies to help my clients when I'm coaching them. So I'm going to take a minute to do an analogy for you right now. I'm just that kind of gal, okay? And one of the analogies that I love to use, is my favorite one, is from the Disney motion picture called Aladdin. Now, this is the animated one. I realize there's a live action one with Will Smith, which, I think that's really great and everything. But when I'm talking about Aladdin, I'm talking about the real Aladdin, the one where Robin Williams was the voice of the genie. And in this movie, if you haven't seen it, it's worth streaming. When Aladdin first goes in the cave, finds the lamp, rubs the lamp, and out pops the genie, who is the voice of Robin Williams. The genie told him, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes because you rubbed the lamp. And Aladdin was confused, like, what? 3 wishes? What? And so the genie sang this song to him. Now, I'm not going to burst into song, so no need to get nervous, but I am going to read to you the lyrics of the song he sang, because it emphasizes what I say the science of yes is. And the name of the song that he sang is You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me. I'm going to read you some of the lyrics, so check it out. And you might want to take notes. You've got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition in your camp. You've got some punch, pizzazz, yahoo, and how. You see, all you got to do is rub that lamp, and I'll say, Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take your order, jot it down. You ain't never had a friend like me. Life is your restaurant. I'm your maitre d'. Come on, whisper what it is you want. You ain't never had a friend like me. See, we pride ourselves on service. You're the boss, the king, the shah. Say what you wish. It's yours to this. How about a little more baklava? How about that baklava? Have some from column A. Try all of column B. Say, I'm in the mood to help you do. You ain't never had a friend like me. That's an exciting song, right? But guess what? I say the universe sings that song to you every day when you get up in the morning. You ain't never had a friend like me. What can I grant you today? And you're not listening. You don't hear, because consider for just a moment that the universe, in the voice of Robin Williams, is saying that to you. Take one from column A, take all from column B. What would you ask for? What would you be looking at? A new car, a new romance, a new career? What exactly do you want? The whole point is this: anything you want, anything that you want is available to you. All you have to do is ask for it. And then, wait for it, take the actions correlate with that are inside of, yes, I can have that. So you don't get to go for it believing all the time in the background that you can't have it. You actually have to take it on, knowing it's yours. It's a done deal. Now, you might be hearing a little bit of the elements of the law of attraction when I'm talking right now, and there's a reason for that, because I am talking about the law of attraction. And some people take on the law of attraction, but they forget the crucial part. You see, in order for you to be living in the science of yes, when you take on the law of attraction, you also have to take on the actions that are correlate to you having that thing. You have to believe, you have to know that that's your thing, and start to take the road to get there, because you know it's yours. And that's the piece that's missing for most people who operate inside the law of attraction. See, the law of attraction is a universal law of the universe. Whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. The universe has a lot of laws like that. You can't see it, touch it, or smell it. You can't prove it exists, but you live your life inside of the confines of it. The universe has a lot of laws like that. For instance, gravity. Gravity is one of those universal laws that you can't see it, touch it, or feel it, but you live your life inside the rules of it. You cannot go to the top of your building, whether it's your apartment, your house. What goes up must come down. And unless you have something pulling or pushing against the law of gravity, when you jump off that building, you're going down, down, down. Or if you're in an airplane, you're going up, up, up. But the airplane operates inside the confines of the law of the universe called gravity. There's a lot of laws like that. I could go on all day, but I'll mention another one, because there's one law of the universe that we all learned when we were kids, at least those of us who had a bicycle. It's called balance. You can't see, smell, or touch it. You can't prove it exists, but you live your life inside the confines of it. Because when you first get on that bike, unless you learn balance, unless you get it down, unless you got yourself smoothly sliding into that law, you're going to fall off that bike or those skates or whatever thing that you're taking on that requires balance. Law of the universe, whether you like it or not, you live your life inside of it. Same thing. The science of yes exists inside the law of attraction. And it's not a law you can prove. You can't see, touch, or feel it, but it's there, and you live your life in the confines of it. And I'm giving you access by teaching you about yes, so that you can leverage your knowledge and belief in that power to have anything you want. So all you need to do is decide, what is it that I want? What is it that I'm going to go after? What is it that I'm going to take on? And then take it on. Take it on, do the actions correlate with you having that thing, and don't give up till you get it. Unless you change your mind, you don't want it anymore. But remember, it's valuable for you to take on that it's up to you. It's not up to your friend across the street. It's not up to your parents, and it's not their fault if you don't get it. So you're all grown now, and blaming your parents or blaming any backwards past incident from stopping you now today is all inside of you're not willing to own and be reliable to manifest anything you want. And I know that it's not easy. I know that for some of you, you've dealt with some major circumstances. Trust me, so did I. I have been a coach for many, many years, and I've had just about everything you can possibly imagine. My oldest child committed suicide in 2007. That broke my heart. I didn't think I'd recoup from that. I lost my job because I got so depressed I couldn't show up for work. Because I lost my job, I lost my dream home, which I manifested on a dime. I lost it that quick too. My beautiful dream car, I lost that too. I've been homeless. I've lived in my car. Anything that you could point to that you could say is a loss, tragic, dramatic, or otherwise, has happened to me. And yet here I sit, surrounded by hearts on Valentine's Day, wishing you a happy Valentine's Day, loving life and loving the process I call the science of yes. Even in the midst of tragedy, you can generate past it because you say so. When you're being inside the power and the energy of yes, things happen for a reason. And I can tell you right now that one of the main reasons I generated myself past those tragic circumstances is so that I can help others do the same. It's hard for anyone to come up with anything that matches what I've been through, but it's not a competition. It's an opportunity to be compassionate and to show people no matter what life brings, you can still stand up and say, I can have that. I want that. It's going to be mine. So just like Aladdin, when he rubbed that lamp and he got access to the world of possibility, so can you. You can have access to that very world because anything's possible in the energy of yes. And I'm here to give away that energy. I give it freely. You can get it from me or you can generate it yourself. Whatever you do, go after it. Don't wait for it to come to you because it's not like that. It's only active when you turn it on. Some people say life is like a bowl of chocolate. I say life is like a baseball game. You see, life is the person who's throwing the ball, the pitcher. You are the person at bat. And life keeps throwing balls, throwing balls, throwing balls, throwing balls, fast balls, slow balls, spit balls, all kind of balls. Life's just pitching. And you are doing your best just to hit and swing away, right? Here's the thing. You have nothing to say about what life pitches at you. You don't get to say. You set out on a journey that's completely empowering to you, and then you get a flat tire. And you don't get to say, life pitches, you hit. But I'm going to tell you something, and here, this is when you want to listen up. You have everything to say about how you react to the balls that life pitches to you. And you can bemoan, complain, commiserate about the balls, or you can get in action and dance around and hit that ball as hard as you can and get to where you're going. Home base. Whatever you want is yours. It's available to you. How you react is completely up to you. And it's not to say that life is not without risk. It is risky to say yes in the face of things that happen that you don't like. Life can be mysterious, but as long as you're saying yes, life can go your way, and it will go your way every single time. Now, here's the other thing that comes up all the time when I talk about the science of yes. And I know that some of you are thinking it right now. Well, what about no? Am I supposed to say yes to everything? Can I say no sometimes? So when I say yes, I don't mean for you to, eliminate the word no from your vocabulary. This is not a conversation about semantics. There are a lot of things that you need to say no to. It's appropriate. There are times when somebody is pushing past your boundaries and you need to put your hand on your hip and snap your fingers and say no. No is not a bad word, and yes is not a good word. This is not about semantics. This is about a mindset. And it's not just positive thinking either. This is a mindset for power. This is a mindset for getting what you want. This is a mindset for taking action no matter what. You can have anything you want. Just say yes and be yes. So while you're crafting the life of your dreams, you're going to have obstacles. So when I talk to you about being of a positive mindset, it doesn't mean nothing bad or nothing untoward is going to happen to you. It doesn't mean obstacles are not going to take place. But what I'm saying is, don't try. My favorite celebrity, Yoda, has this saying, do or not do. There is no try, just do it. Now, I could say to you, say no. Say no to stress and stress-caused illnesses. Say no to unemployment and being a victim to your circumstances. Say no to emotional abuse and toxic relationships. I could tell you these things, and I could call my process the things to say no to, the science of saying no. But I'm not going to do that, because one of the biggest things I teach my clients is not to affirm with your speaking that which you do not want. Like, you don't go into a restaurant and pick up the menu, and when the waiter or waitress comes over, you look at them and say, okay, so don't serve me pancakes. I don't want pancakes. I hate pancakes. Pancakes suck. And if you bring me pancakes, I'm going to be really mad at you. So don't bring me pancakes. None of that. Right? You don't do that. I hope you don't do that. And you don't walk into a store and when the salesperson comes over, say, don't give me any clothes that have polka dots. I particularly don't like blue with white polka dots, but don't bring me any polka dots at all. I hate polka dots. Don't show me anything with polka dots. Don't do that, because I don't like that. You don't do that either, right? I mean, I hope you don't do that. You see, you don't want to lead with what you don't want. Always generating what you want. And if something shows up and it's not what you want, then dismiss it and keep focusing on what you want. Lead with what you want. Because you think that it may be silly what I just distinguished about pancakes and polka dots, but you do the same thing in your life. You talk all the time about what you don't like, about what you don't want somebody to do to you. And you're focusing on that, and you're bringing all this energy to that. And if you brought that same level of energy to what you want, you manifest it a lot quicker. So if you're a business owner, I'm a coach for entrepreneurs, specifically for conscious professionals. Like, in other words, spiritually motivated or mindful people who are up to big things. They're creative, they're transformational. Those are the entrepreneurs I work with best, because you're very, very intuitive and do things creatively. And it's hard for you in a structural corporate world to actually generate success and abundance. So my key is teaching you all the things that you can do to compete in a world that's very corporate when you are very transformational and spiritual. So for my free gift, I'm giving you an ebook that I wrote on how not to make the mistakes that people make when they're marketing their business. And I'm also going to give you a free consultation call where I'll go over those techniques with you and those strategies with you, so you can bring those strategies for marketing to your business and make more money and get more clients. Would you like that? And it's all inside the science of yes. So inside the science of yes and the power of yes, you face life with a different spirit, the spirit of yes. And, I can help you with that. There's a lot to be concerned about these days. There's a pandemic on. We just had, a president that leaves much to be desired as far as printed people go. And we have a whole new outlook on how we're going to live our life now that we're social distancing. And now that we've, seen that a global pandemic can rock our world. It's easy to understand why people are despondent and depressed right now, but you don't have to be. You can be inside the world of yes and say that anything you want, everything I want is available to you. And yes isn't a Buddhist mantra. I'm not trying to get you to say yes, 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 yes. But it wouldn't hurt to say yes. There's things about that, when I was young, and we won't discuss my age right now. And if you try to, I'll deny it. but when I was young, there was a song called High Hopes. I think Frank Sinatra sang it. And it was all about this little ant who would move this huge rubber tree plant. He was committed to moving, and oops, there goes another rubber tree plant. High Hopes is about what you can take on for yourself and your life and everything you're up to. All your plans, all your things that you want to take on have everything to do with your attitude. So what you want to develop when you're in the presence of self-doubt, avoiding, money and money making decisions, if you're feeling defeated, if you're feeling your self-worth is not there, your value is not there, and you're not getting it done, your life goals are just not happening for you, that's all inside of no. And you want to bring to yourself your yes mentality. You want to bring yes to the forefront. I can help you do that. So, I'm giving away that ebook for entrepreneurs. If you're not an entrepreneur and you just want advice, I'm a certified life coach as well. But remember, it starts with you. I can support, coach, and empower you, but it starts with you taking on the science of yes and being willing to live your life inside of it. And that pretty much is my shtick on the science of yes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer them.
So what's your favorite word, Pam?
Yes.
You are an incredible inspiration. And I'll tell you, as I said, when we first began this segment, when Pam said, how long should I allow to get started on this journey? And I told her 6 weeks, and she's like, okay, good. We'll do it in 12 days. And it's miraculous. It was maybe a couple of days more than 12 days, but she took action, and she doesn't understand what an obstacle is. To her, it's just a revolving door. You just push it and it goes out of the way. And, we always have those obstacles. And I'm now humming High Hopes in my brain, by the way, which totally dates me, right? I'm gonna have to go
Me
Google
too.
it. I'm gonna have to go Google it and play it. But it's probably a good theme song for what's out there. It really is. And honest to God, I didn't even know the story about moving the rubber tree. I didn't have any clue what the hell the song was. It was just the tune that got me going, Pam. So
yeah. And why I bring it up even is because the ant reminds me of your story about me taking on that event. It's like you have high hopes that it'll turn out, and you just start pushing. And most naysayers would say, well, you're just getting started. You're not strong enough. You can't do that. And it's like, well, I have high hopes.
Yeah.
And it turned out, because as long as you're willing to take it on, the universe will support you.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't support no.
No, listen, just even look at this event. This event is total craziness to do an event with this number of speakers in this short time frame. I mean, it's nuts. But we did it, and we're doing it, and we're jumping through hoops. I mean, there's obstacles, there's technical glitches, and all sorts of excitement. But we're getting it done. We're creating history again, and it's pretty miraculous. So that says it right there. And to have you being part of it is certainly a privilege and a pleasure. I just want to say. So
thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here, and it's so exciting to be here, inside of Valentine's Day and full of love and the ability to receive and give it.
It's, when we first created World Love Week 6 years ago, and I've got to watch the time. We have less than a minute left before the next segment starts automatically. Our technology is working beautifully on streaming, which is terrific. I probably shouldn't have said that to jinx anything, but when we first embarked on this, the whole mindset was really, let's make the world a nicer, kinder place. And I was inspired by one person who created World Love Day, or actually Love Day at his place of business, and that was the guys at Mind Valley. And I was like, how can we make that bigger and better? And I was like, well, hell, love isn't about a day. It really should be about forever. Let's call it Love Week. I got the domain, and then we said, let's, World Love Week just seemed to work. So there we go. So Pam Heath, a pleasure and honor to have you with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You'll find, easy for me to say, you'll find Pam's gifts on the dashboard. Just click the link to go grab those. I recommend that you get them. And she used the word ebook, but I got to tell you, there's massive wisdom inside of that content. So go grab it right now, read it, implement it, and say yes. Pam Heath, thank you so much. I love you to pieces. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Take care.
today is a fabulous day. We're on whatever hour. Actually, you know, we're at just almost 24 hours, 23 and a half hours of our opportunity-thon. And let me say a quick hello to everybody. I'm going to bring Raquel in, and let me bring in the amazing Tracy Repchuk, and we'll bring in the Dean of Success, because what the hell, we're all here because we're giddy and we are
Hello.
We're drunk on lack of sleep.
And I want to high five Tracy. High five Tracy.
Boom.
There we go. Because he has been rocking with us, like she's been in the trenches with us in the background, and I really appreciate you, you know, going in the background and just doing it with us. And it's much harder when you're sitting in the background and you're not actually like interacting like me and Ken are, or Dean, you know. So kudos to you, and thank you for staying engaged. So we're all wonky. And
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Welcome to the sane asylum.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that is the truth. Anyway,
I'm looking for a link here just to help somebody get into one of the rooms. But I do want to. I mean, I haven't seen Tracy. We just kind of reconnected again after years. It's great to catch back up again. So, and I'm going to kind of jump in because we're running a bit late, and we got Joel coming in. And the sooner we get everyone on, the sooner I can. Raquel and I and Dean can go to bed.
Together. You're going to bed too.
You're going to go to bed with us, but separately.
Yeah. Yes, we'll be in sync on that one.
Well, then I quit.
So,
yeah, that's
yeah, we're having a viewing thing, and there we go. Ask to join. A second. The group. Okay, cool. There we go. That is being sent, and I've got one more person to ask to join.
Tracy, you're feeling it, huh?
Well, and I'm in the back room. Of course, I'm still on the other line talking.
Oh, right. Well, with like a 30-second delay, it's really awesome. Let's get right to it. My intention for you is to keep you awake for the next 22 minutes,
No problem.
and extract the mind meld out of you. Tell it. Like, first of all, what I don't even have a bio, and we haven't talked in a while. So let's give everybody an update as to how your massage parlor is doing, and
how what is doing.
How your massage parlor is doing.
Oh.
I thought you had a ranch in Nevada, so never mind.
Yeah.
I don't even get. I
I was on the double D's from
that
Joseph.
was funny. That was
funny.
That was
double D's, and I was like,
yeah. No, I feel yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I have to call attention.
All right,
Really...
let's go. I want to hear about Tracy's business, and then I want to hear about all the opportunities that's out there.
So
and what,
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't know anything about me, so it's really excited to be on here. Oh, how am I gonna kick back?
What do you mean? What can I do? There we go.
Okay. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I actually started a software company at the age of 19, and I've been on the internet, like Joseph talked about, forever. It's, just after Al Gore built it.
Right.
Yeah, so in 1985, I really emerged. And then in 1992, I started all in on what is the internet, right? Which it wasn't even called that back then. And it was fascinating because I was doing work for Walmart, JCPenney, the government, banks, and Fortune 100 and 500 companies, because they didn't understand what it was either. And so that was my software days, and then into the internet days. And then I went all in into what is now internet marketing in 2004. And that's when I actually was like the first woman to win New Internet Marketing Success of the Year. Mm-hmm. I then started to appear on the world's largest stages with the World Internet Summit. A lot of you guys here will remember that.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where I met the giants like, Mike Filsame and Jay Abraham. And so it was a quite an exciting ride, because for 5 years, as a result of that, I actually toured around the world with 15 other men and myself as the only woman on those stages. So it was a pretty spectacular launch into speaking. I couldn't believe the dream card I had been handed. But then I heard some of your speakers talking earlier, like I think it was Deborah Lynn, and she was talking about the manifestation of a moment, right? Well, that was my vision board. Was the second I saw there was 16 men and no women, I was like, I'm going to get on there in 1 year. And it was actually 5 months when I hit that stage. And then, of course, that's where I started to meet Ken, when we were all in kind of those internet marketing days. I've heard people talking about the cruise, which was a blast. For 10 years, I did the Internet Marketers Cruise. Who know, I might pop back in to that. And so, you know, what I've really been doing is helping particularly women to create an online presence that is allows them to make money. That's the whole goal. You know, how do we develop a program? How do we create a brand? How do we create that landing page and that list building opportunity? And then kind of what I'll talk about here in general, once we've got our foundation built, how do we talk on social media? Where should we be and what should we be doing? Especially now that we're all stuck at home, it's a whole nother framework that we're dealing with. And so, you know, I am loving social media primarily because it is our resource and our outlet to communicate.
Yeah. And how are you using it? And what do you see as the big opportunity there?
Well, you know, when I do anything, it's with strategy. Again, you know, I graduated as a computer programmer. I have a certified management accountants designation. I like structure and logic and data flow. And so generally, I'll be on each platform for a very specific reason. Like, for example, with Facebook, I'm community building and I'm focusing on my groups in there because that is a fantastic tool to lead gen over to your landing page. And so that's a main activity there. Where my juice comes from, though, as people have been talking here, is really LinkedIn. Okay, so, you know, I have over 25,000 followers on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn advisor. And primarily that is where my, I'll say bread and butter comes from. And that's where most of my speaking gigs, my international speaking gigs, I've spoken in over 39 countries now. That's where they came from. And so I love LinkedIn. I can give tons of tips for that. And then the two I'm playing with right now, one is, of course, YouTube, right? I've known forever I needed to get a better presence on YouTube, simply because of the search engine optimization and keyword ability to penetrate Google. But this COVID, you know, this pandemic, you know, lockdown, so to speak, has been awesome for me on that perspective. I've already produced almost 60 videos ready for YouTube. I'm putting them up every single day. And then at the same time, I'm building up my IGTV channel. And from that, I'm like nonstop. People are pouring in now saying, oh my God, can you help me with my brick and mortar? Can you help me, get clients, all sorts of stuff. So it's been quite a blast of it as of late. And of course, integrating it with the Zoom technology, and you guys are using StreamYard here, which is new to me. And I'm going to definitely continue to check it out because I love the broadcast ability of it. It's going to be absolutely awesome over this next time, as you know, specifically I emerge as like mostly online, which was the intention in the first place. And this kind of downtime, as I'll call it, has given me tons of time to produce.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this whole thing right now, is that, you know, that a lot of people are you know, they're doing their Netflix nights, and you know, there's a place for that. I mean, there's definitely a place to disengage and just let your mind veg out. I mean, absolutely. And we do need our movies to laugh with. You know, we absolutely need our movies to laugh with, just to get through some of the stress, or cry with, for that matter. We just have to process all the emotion. But the livingness of just, you know, of living in the movie theaters, it's all avoidance. And now is not the time for avoidance. Now is the time for leaning in, not leaning out, you know? So, but it's interesting you're talking about going into YouTube. I'm a big believer in YouTube as well. And I haven't used it very much. I mean, I've been teaching it, you know, of course, you know, but I think it's a fantastic platform. I think it's awesome. But what surprised me, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, we were approached by some people at Google, where they were going to be like our agency, and they were just going to charge us for the ad spend and nothing. And it was all going to be free and this and that. And they wanted to get us up to like $50,000 a month in ad spend. And we were talking about what do we do first? And they're like, well, we're going to put you on the Google network, but YouTube is too expensive and it takes too long. So we're not going to even bother with YouTube now. And I thought, now that's the first time I've heard anything like that about not doing YouTube. I thought YouTube was the low-hanging fruit. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, when it comes to what we'll say Google ad spend versus YouTube ad spend versus Facebook ad spend, that's a different animal. The reason you really want to get onto YouTube is the organic value through the search engine optimization of Google, who of course owns them, right? It's the #2 search engine in the world. More people are starting to search now for straight to the videos, right? Because they're going to get reams and reams in the Google search for how to do something, but it doesn't really tell them how. Whereas a video, how to do something great. I take this, I heard the mechanic who's moved online, right? That's fantastic because yes, now I can watch him and figure it out. But if he wrote a paper on how to change the carburetor or even do the oil, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I can watch anything and follow instructions very well on video. And that's where all the platforms are moving. And of course, from that perspective, now Google versus Facebook versus YouTube ads, I actually have no ad spend. So I don't know of those which you'd spend more. They all claim, hey, if you come to YouTube, it's way cheaper than Google, and everybody believe.
I think you're still going there. So it's interesting. And the thing about YouTube is that it does allow you to be really creative. And after you get to 10,000 likes, one of the things I love about YouTube, where they really give you golden handcuffs, after 10,000 subscribers, they give you access to the YouTube studios for free, which is
right.
And if you're ever in LA, and they have studios in Los Angeles, New York, Tokyo, and I think it's London. It's been a while since I've talked about it, but I visited the one in LA. It's an old Hughes aircraft hangar.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Oh my God, it is just like Fantasy Island. It's incredible. It's so amazing. Yeah, we're talking state-of-the-art studios with sound stages, big enough to like hold a huge rock concert in, as well as small ones where you can do something intimate, just like what we're doing right now. It's phenomenal, and it's all free once you have at least 10,000 subscribers.
There's the new goal then, because I want to go play in the free studios. I mean,
honey, so do I.
Me too.
Although I had someone tell me, and that's been my big thing, it's like, give me 10,000, 10,000 on the double Ds and we're good to go. The thing that I was told by someone was like, don't go there, because now they're going to own your content and you'll become beholden to them. So, and again, who knows what the ultimate truth is, but there obviously there would be that. They want you on there because they're going to pick up the ad revenue. So, but now let's talk about my concern. Is that we have people, and you guys pop in the chat and tell me whether I'm right or wrong.
Oh yeah, ask questions too if you have questions about any of the platforms.
Yeah, Link. Well, the link. Scott Patton's giving us a comment here on. Oh, hang on, let me get over here.
Yeah, I can see the comments. There we go.
Yeah, well, I want people able to see it at home. So you'll soon be able to leave stream live to LinkedIn. StreamYard, and by the way, if you want to get a free trial on StreamYard, go to opportunitython.com/StreamYard. Okay. That's our link over there, by the way. So you get 14 days. We're actually streaming for free on StreamYard right now because we're on a 14-day trial. So it's great. They're awesome. They're great. They do connect to LinkedIn Live, but apparently my understanding of LinkedIn Live is getting approved by them is not so timely and not so easy. Our application's still in there.
It's really too as far as streaming is concerned. Yeah. But when you post a video up there, which like Instagram, it has to be under 10 minutes when you're at certain sizes. When you post a video up there, though, it gets traction. Unlike, again, we can see more and more the need to read is removing itself, and people are enjoying more of the visual content. simply because we're watching on our phones now. I mean, I don't know about you, but you know, I hit glasses stage now. It's very annoying when I'm doing this, trying to fan everything all the time so I can read the damn thing. Whereas on a video, I'm like, okay, I got that.
Right. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. Well, the thing that's what's kind of cool. So I don't know if you saw Justin when he came in 4 days ago. Talk about doing video. And the cool thing about it, if people are concerned about video or intimidated by video, the beautiful thing is Bonnie does her videos with a third party. You know, she shoots them and then someone else manages it. So it's wonderful. I mean, absolutely do video as much as you can, because it does connect your heart to people. People can see. I mean, that's why we're doing this now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why.
We got a lot of good questions about it.
Yeah, that like the Facebook Lives are so powerful because people are connecting that way, and it's free, right? Yeah. Definitely with the video, it's become such a big part, and I can see the growth ramping again, the trending ramp. That, you know, I opened up a whole division now that's handling video production, video studio work. And then what happens is they hand the videos off to me, and that's where I'll post, search engine optimize, get them ranking. And so we're handling that all under one umbrella, just because this is how important it is. But having said that, do I think people need studio work? No. like was said, right? Get your iPhone in front of your face and just start talking. Because if we take a look at the big people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, none of them have really taken a lot of production value into creating something. And then said that if you want your own TV show, that might be where you need to start to up level production before you post it on Roku and Apple and that. So you got 3 stages of content creation in just the video platform. That, you know, it's important to monitor, where are you, right? If you don't have a lot of money, don't think production, think just getting your face in front of your iPhone. But if you're at that, you know, upper level branded stage, you want to talk TV show, then I think it's important to take a look at the more sophisticated content that you can produce and put out there. But one of the major things, of course, is when you have that video content, you can strip it apart to almost, you know, 375 pieces of content for all your social media platforms. You can fill an entire month of social media with a 30-minute Facebook Live video. So when people are saying, I got no content, you do. You just don't understand the procedure to take one thing and repurpose it almost to death.
Right, which was what the guy that had I don't remember, but I called it a donut. The speaker that had the donut. You were definitely
Simon.
Simon. Yes, because we were talking about repurposing. And you know, you do it once. Since we are talking about video, there is some questions in the chat. One of the question is, what are your thoughts about Venmo and then
Vimeo.
Vimeo. Okay,
Vimeo.
yeah. I was going to say, I thought Venmo was a payment platform, but Vimeo I know well.
Yeah. Money's always on my mind. Sorry.
Good girl. Right. Where it should be. Yeah.
There we go. Exactly.
What are you doing to make the cash register ring today? That has to be your motto as a CEO, or else you're going to get caught in the busy wheel, the busy hamster wheel, right, of content production that's not pulling in the money, which is, of course, a trap you can get caught in.
Right, because that leads from the donut to why we're even talking about the video, and then which platform is best to use. So
okay, so I'll tell you what I do with both of those. So
and then they're saying also, what is the advantage of StreamYard? I don't know if I said that. So
okay, you might have to tell you that. Okay, for Vimeo, I'll tell you what I do. I have 1,700 videos on Vimeo. All of them are training videos in the back end of my membership site. So all content that is mine, I own, I pay to have hosted on a platform that really states that this is mine and no one else can touch it, so to speak. And I'm like the talk with YouTube and who owns, right? So all what I will call marketing materials I post on YouTube. So if I do a 15-minute LinkedIn training, I'm going to post that on YouTube because, quite frankly, that's the teaser to my program. That's the teaser to me fixing your LinkedIn profile. All of that is designed to feed one of my programs. And that's the other thing, you know, this isn't about random content either. This is about what are you posting to push them towards. It's beginning with the end in mind, right? If you want to, you know, go on LinkedIn and get a client, then you better say, what type of client do I want? And what does he want to buy, and work your way back. And it comes the same with video content. Where do you want to feed them so that ultimately, as they move through the know, like, trust process, then they're like, wait, what can I buy? Well, yay, I've got multiple programs for you. What's your budget, you know?
Excellent, excellent. And then somebody else asked a question. Oh, well, then what is the advantage of using StreamYard?
This platform? Okay,
Yeah.
so I am brand new to this platform, but I'll tell you one of the things that I like is it can look like a television show with very little effort. You can have the banners on the bottom. You can mix the banners. Yeah. Before I got on this, I probably watched 15 YouTube videos on what is StreamYard, because when you said I had to get on it, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I better go learn. Right. And I'm loving this platform. I definitely am going to continue with it and figure out how I can up-level the sophistication of what I'm broadcasting, particularly to my Facebook Lives. It has solved the problem, too, of how do you bring somebody in, like we are doing right here, and really make it look nice, right? You know, as opposed to these two, like, deadheads beside each other, which, of course, you know, so, again, if you don't got a budget, I don't know what this costs, then just use your Zoom or, you know, straight to Facebook if you need to.
So I'll jump in because I know, but I'm not a heavy hitter, but when you jumped over to Zoom. So if you were to compare like the free version of Zoom to a free version of StreamYard, actually Zoom right now does not offer any free trial at all. They used to, but now they don't. So that's one of the benefits of StreamYard. And that's if you're on a budget. And then the other thing that StreamYard does that Zoom doesn't is how I can click on somebody's
yes, I love that.
Somebody's comment and it highlights, and that's one of the other things. So I've used both, very kind of light because I'm a live professional speaker, but in my light usage of both, I prefer StreamYard.
And then I'll just mention one thing for Zoom, because I've been using that for 10 years. And one of the features I like, so this is where it depends what your end game is. A lot of times if I'm doing a webinar and I'm broadcasting to Facebook from a Zoom platform, and maybe this can do it and I don't know, the reason I'm doing that is for my list building. So of course, in order to come in, they first have to register into what I'll call the webinar or a meeting. I got now their name and their email address, which immediately posts to my Infusionsoft. Now I've got them going through an automated campaign, and that's just from popping in. So it means that I'm allowed to automate from end to end when I'm using the Zoom platform. And so if this has that too, then definitely Zoom is going to have some competition.
Yes.
It's different than Zoom. And when Ifat Cohen is going to be with us soon, and she's pretty expert at this platform. So
awesome.
She'll be with us on that. In fact, she's creating a course on as well.
Perfect. So, well, you know what's funny too, when Zoom went from whatever 50,000 users to 200,000 users in 2.5 weeks, I started posting out Zoom training for that platform, and my numbers started skyrocketing. Once I learned this, you're going to get the same thing. I'm going to start posting, because what people don't know, they don't know. And when you tell them about something like you have through this entire conference, this is a key element that we need to bring in. And even if it's not what we'll say for list building, it doesn't mean I don't want it for the other thing. I could be talking apples and oranges, which means when I want my production value to be higher, especially if I'm, communicating or putting on a TV show, then this to me already looks like the platform for that.
Yeah, it's really good, and we're loving it. So let's, and the nice thing, it's not very expensive, and the flexibility that it's got is tremendous. There are differences, where, for example, with Zoom, we have a link. We can link Zoom directly into our Infusionsoft account, which now we're talking technical. So for everyone that's not familiar, we can connect the Zoom platform with our contact management system, our CRM, so that we know who's come in. We can send emails back and forth, and we can track everything. StreamYard does not seem to have that capability as yet, but they're growing, and they're not nearly as old as Zoom is. Zoom is like, now it's like the new thing, but they've been around for a long time. These platforms take a while to grow.
Exactly.
StreamYard's proving. I mean, we've only been using it for about a week. I've been watching someone else use it for a while. I didn't know what it was, but it's phenomenal.
Well, what I can see is about to happen, especially for those of us who now start to adopt StreamYard, is our production value is going to go up. We're going to have the bottom thirds. We're going to have things coming in, the intros, the outros in a live scenario. Because of that, when people are flipping through, what do you watch, right, on Facebook, they'll be like, what is that, right? We're gonna cause them to stop. And that's what we need. We need a disruption tool in everything that we do. And this to me looks like that for broadcast performance. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's really pretty cool.
Excellent. Yeah, so it's pretty fun out there in social media. What's interesting too, though, is I've been through this before, right? When I was in Toronto, which is where I'm from, there was this thing called SARS, which you probably only know about if you were in Toronto, because that was the epicenter pretty much. And so we were I've been through a lockdown. And here's what I love about these lockdown moments is, one, it's a reboot and a rebirth. It allows us to jump off that hamster wheel immediately and say, okay, where am I? If you've seen that movie WALL-E, this is what this reminds me of, right? Where they're all sitting on those recliners, sipping on their pop, getting propaganda shoved in their head. All of a sudden, those two people that got popped off the chair, they're like, wait, I didn't know we had a pool, and that's what is our moment right now, is we have this moment to see these opportunities and everything that's around us that we can completely create and develop the company we want now, or the future that we want now at this moment, by now taking the luxury of time, which we never have, and truly implementing some of the steps that we've been hearing about through Opthon to create a brand new organism that we can move forward with. And I did that at SARS. It was a huge pivot point for me. And now this is already going to be another huge pivot point. And so I kind of like moments like this.
This is awesome. And you know what? Somebody is asking another question. Or maybe they're just making a statement. No, they're making a statement. Okay, but I'll read it anyway since I was reading it. Yes, you can have a blind opt-in. Your customer can opt into your list while registering for GoToWebinar at the same time. Now that I've seen StreamYard, I'll integrate them too. So and you know what? Technology just moves so fast. Like something that wasn't available yesterday could be available a week from now.
It's like, it's like social media platforms, right? They jump up like weeds, quite frankly, but it's a question of where should you be? How should you be spending your time? Who your target market is and what platform are they on? That's key, because there's no sense hanging on a certain platform if your market isn't there. And the only universal market is YouTube. But Instagram has a demographic, LinkedIn has a demographic, Facebook, of course, has a demographic in use. And so when you understand, this helps to prevent the overwhelm and frustration of, God, how come I have to do so much on social media and I get no results? Well, you would get results if you spent 15 minutes in LinkedIn. If you're in B2B, and that's the platform you should be on, then all of a sudden, I'm getting crazy reaches now because I've never had so many focused people on LinkedIn. Usually you have to get LinkedIn from 8 to 9 a.m. at noon and 6 p.m. There's very specific times as well for each social media platform. And what's great about this, Nan, I got 24/7 B2B people just sitting there waiting to be plucked. So if that's your market, then make sure you're focusing on the social media platform where you should be.
Trace, thanks. You'll be with
You're
us.
welcome. Bye. And I'm still here.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you?
Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?